guys. How you doing?
It's been 25 years since legendary defenseman Boreas Salming last played in the NHL.
It's a pleasure to meet you after so long.
But his autograph is still highly sought after. A Hall of Famer who spent most of his storied career with the Toronto Maple Leafs in the 1970s and 80s, Salming remains a hero even to hockey fans who were too young to ever remember him in his prime. How do you feel dealing with people who are professional autograph seekers versus real, everyday, blue-collar fans who come out here with babies and jerseys to sign?
Of course, with babies and everything and families, that's really fun because, the pants are great, and then sign to the pants, that's the people you play for, and it's great.
And while it may be fun for Salming and the fans, make no mistake, the autograph and memorabilia industry is big business. These fans are shelling out for the right to a brief encounter with Salming and get his signature.
So that'll be $30 for the autograph, then $29.99 for the inscription.
Okay.
No matter what Salming signs, a picture, a puck, or even a stick, after every autograph, fans take it over to this table, just steps away to get a sticker next to the signature, authenticating to fans and collectors that this autograph is legit.
Putting the sticker on, it's going to keep it authentic. It proves that Boreas Salming signed it, and it's just the way to go when it comes to sports memorabilia.
Getting these autographs authenticated is one thing, but what about fans who can't be there for their sports heroes signings? How do they know the autographs they buy are real? And just how rigorous are standards in the rest of the authentication industry? We wanted to put it to the test. We recruited a former art student to copy some signatures for us. She hasn't done this before, but she's a quick study and a steady hand. In no time, she's recreating the signatures of retired NHL greats, Hall of Famers, on glossy photos and pucks. Remember, she isn't a professional forger. She's only doing this for our test. Nonetheless, she creates 17 fakes in a matter of minutes. Now, it's time to see if her creations can fool the pros. With our fake autographs in hand, we're off to one of the biggest sports memorabilia shows in the country. And sports collectors are out in full force. Row upon row of hockey cards, posters, and seemingly one-of-a-kind sports collectibles are on hand. Former professional wrestling star Trish Stratus is here. But the biggest draw is the chance to see hockey heroes from the past up close and personal, and get an autograph from an NHL legend like former Detroit Red Wing, Ted Lindsay.
What keeps you going? Why do you keep coming back to these kinds of shows?
These are people that paid my salary, not you. Way back in the olden days.
Maybe my dad.
Your grandfather.
It's been decades since Lindsay and fellow Hall of Famer, former Leafs goalie Johnny Bower, last played. But people still stand in line for an hour or more for a chance to have a quick chat and get their signatures. But unlike these fans, we're not standing in line to get autographs. Remember, we've brought our own fake autographs, 17 in all. And with our hidden cameras, we're looking to see if anyone can spot the difference.
5 and a puck. And a puck.
First stop, we see if the folks at this booth can spot our Johnny Bower fakes. They're with an authentication company called AJ Sports World.
What's the point of this? I've never been to a show like this before.
Well, it just authenticates it that the autograph you got from our company, right? That's
Cool.
why we put these on.
They don't charge us, but they authenticate 6 fake autographs as the real things.
So after you get Ted Lindsay done, just come back, do the same thing.
Same deal?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Another member of our TSN W5 team drops off 6 more fakes to be examined by a company called JSA. And within an hour, the fake signatures are all authenticated as the real thing, and we're charged $120. And then there's KSA Canada. The man at the booth here makes it clear he believes that by authenticating autographs, he's doing an important service within the memorabilia industry.
It adds value?
It adds value,
Okay.
and buyer confidence is the big thing.
Okay.
Is the buyer confidence, knowing that it is authentic and not a reproduction that somebody's done. Although, like I say, Johnny Bower and Ted Lindsay are generally, they have good legible handwriting, so if somebody's copied it, you can usually tell pretty easily.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We leave the phony autographs with him to inspect, but return 45 minutes later. 5 fake autographs have been given the seal of approval, and it cost us $100.
How do you know? Like, how do you really know if what you're getting is a guy's real autograph or not?
You just really have to trust the company that's certifying it or saying that it's real.
You've got a pretty good eye for this then.
So all told, we took 17 items with fake autographs to the show, 1 puck and 16 photographs to 3 companies to examine, and every one was given a sticker, authenticating these bogus autographs as the real deal.
I really think it's a Wild West.
Brian Aaronworth is the president of the sports memorabilia company Frameworth. Aside from retired NHLers like Boreas Salming, his company represents a number of current-day NHLers like Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Toews. These autographed jerseys go for hundreds, even thousands of dollars.
Are you seeing more fakes these days?
Definitely, yes. Business has evolved from where people were just collecting as an excuse to meet the athlete. But as eBay and those type of places came where money can be made, and then obviously you have people taking advantage of that situation.
What's the danger to the industry if we're seeing more and more faked autographs?
If people can't trust the autographs that they're buying and purchasing in the collectible side, then the industry will dwindle away. And we have a vested interest, obviously, in keeping it strong and healthy. It really is up to us, for the most part, to police those things. People that are out in the malls and that, authenticating things, and what qualifies them to be authenticators, I don't know.
And what about those authentication companies that gave our fake autographs the seal of approval? Well, we tried repeatedly to reach officials at AJ Sports World, but they never returned our request for comment. JSA offered us this statement saying they receive over 350,000 signatures per year for authentication. And while mistaken authentications are rare, they can and do happen. However, when JSA is made aware of such mistakes, all necessary steps are taken to resolve them, and the mistakenly authenticated items are immediately removed from JSA's record system. And remember KSA Canada?
You just really have to trust the company that's certifying it.
Well, that company's president wrote us back to offer his sincere apologies for this error in authentication, adding that it seemed that their due diligence process wasn't properly followed in this instance. He also offered us our money back.
So with all this information, what's a consumer to do?
Homework. I mean, really, it is only a piece of paper. So if it says a company's name on it and you don't know who the company is, just because it says COA or Certificate of Authenticity doesn't give it any credence unless you know the background.
Or, if you think the price tag is too high for some athlete's signature, you might just want to follow the advice of a Hall of Famer.
How do you feel about the amount of money people charge for autographs now?
I tell you one thing, I would never pay that kind of money for anybody's autograph.
Woo! Go Leafs!
It's hockey night in Toronto.
Pro Brands, Flyer Leaf lineup here, Pro Brands.
Is this TV?
50-50 tickets.
And that means Maple Leafs fans are out in full force. On this night, like 40 to 50 others every year, thousands of hockey fans are converging on the Air Canada Centre, or ACC, in downtown Toronto. A giddy energy is in the air. After all, every home game here is a big event, and these are the hottest tickets in town. Just outside the arena, scalpers are doing a brisk business. And the prices aren't cheap.
Yeah, they're 400 each, 800 for the two.
You come down a bit?
What do you want to pay?
6 for the 2?
7, you got them.
That's $700 for 2 seats in the upper bowl of the arena for a regular season Leafs game.
So, gentlemen, you're just going to head straight ahead?
With demand for tickets so high, it should come as little surprise that on any given night, there are typically more tickets than there are available seats, meaning some unsuspecting fans are carrying counterfeits.
First time I take her to a Leafs game, first Leafs game for Christmas, and they're like, "You gotta get out of here."
For a Christmas present, Alishan Kara went on a website called SeatGeek and paid $315 for a pair of Leaf tickets for him and his girlfriend, Emily de Cordova.
I bought
tickets from SeatGeek a number of times, and they guarantee the tickets are authentic, so I really didn't check or look at the sender or anything like that because I trust the site. We got to the rink, sat down at our seats, but there was already 2 people sitting there. Turned out ours were fake.
What happened then?
They came and got us and sort of walked us to the entrance. They had to void our tickets.
How are you feeling when they said, sorry, you're going to have to leave?
It's a little upsetting, but hopefully we can figure something out and get to watch it still. I want to enjoy my first Leafs game.
Made me look terrible.
Fahd Hussein knows how they feel. He's repeatedly been sold counterfeit tickets.
It's been about 6 or 7 occasions where, I've been given tickets that were no good, that I wasn't able to go into the game.
Fahd, how much money collectively have you lost because of fake tickets?
I would say it's about $2,000, $2,500. That's serious money. For me, I'm working hard for it. After a hard days of work, you want to catch a Raptors game, you want to catch a Maple Leafs game, and you want to make sure your tickets are good.
We have to deal with a lot of disappointed folks.
Wayne Zronick is the vice president of live entertainment at Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. He's seen a surge in fake tickets for events at the ACC in the past 5 years.
How many people are you turning away each game, each event?
Anywhere from 0.5% to 2% of the people that can show up at our doors will have fraudulent tickets. On an unpopular event, it could be 10 tickets, or on a very popular event, it could be 300 to 400 tickets.
Between the Maple Leafs, the Raptors, concerts, and other events, this arena is booked 200 nights a year. That's thousands of people being turned away with bogus tickets.
One of our main concerns is from the proliferation of new ticketing technologies. You can print a ticket that looks like a real ticket at home, and you can sell that 50 times as well.
Pro teams are getting out of the business of hard copy tickets because electronic print-your-own tickets give them more information about their customers. Trouble is, electronic tickets with barcodes are easier to duplicate, and fakes can easily find their way to popular reseller websites where fans like Fahd can get duped.
Kijiji, Craigslist, some of the free classified postings I've used. It's been hit and miss in terms of, the legitimacy of the tickets.
Well, on Kijiji and Craigslist, there's really no recourse, right? It's an open marketplace. So if they go there, they could get ripped off.
Sean McIntyre is the community manager for Kijiji Canada. He says there's little Kijiji can do to get customers their money back.
Kijiji is really just a platform to connect buyers and sellers. There is no refund policy.
But he says it's still crucial to let officials there know if someone's been sold fake tickets on the website.
What do you do when you hear about that?
We inform them to immediately contact the police and file a report. We do our best to block users when anybody informs us of any user that may be doing something that's against our policy or against the law.
As for Fahd, despite spending more than $2,000 on fake tickets, he hasn't given up buying tickets online.
Why go back to the well so many times?
Well, over the years, I've learned some tricks of the trade in order to, sniff out tickets that are suspect, so to speak. I specifically do target searches where, people are listing that they're season ticket holders. I'll ask them about if they're on LinkedIn or Facebook. I can see that, okay, they're on LinkedIn, they have a profile, they have a phone number, they have an email. So I'll have some recourse to be able to follow up with them.
And if you do all that and you still end up being ejected from a game for having fake tickets, well, here's a little-known secret. Try asking the arena if they have any extra unused seats available that night.
In our industry, we call it stress tickets, meaning that we can try to relieve some of those fan issues without having to charge them. But the reality is most of the time we don't have that inventory available to do that.
But lucky for Ali, Sean, and Emily, on this night at least, a pair of spare seats could be found. What's more, SeatGeek eventually refunded their money. So Emily gets to see her first live Leafs game after all. Too bad she had to watch her favorite team lose. It's one of the keys to being a true sports fan, wearing your heart and your support on your sleeve.
Go Leafs, go!
It's how fans show their allegiance to their team. Wearing the logo, and while there's toques and caps and t-shirts, the most sought-after piece of fan gear is unquestionably the jersey.
Best player?
But the thing is, official team jerseys aren't cheap. They can go anywhere from $150 to nearly $400. Game-worn jerseys go for well over $1,000. North American consumers spent more than $13 billion on sports merchandise last year. With that kind of money at stake, it's no surprise that increasingly, the marketplace is being flooded by fakes. Take, for example, the NHL's annual Winter Classic.
We have determined that these jerseys in our possession today are counterfeit.
December 2014, Washington, D.C. Special Agent Steve Sagan of U.S. Homeland Security seizes $25,000 in fake jerseys in advance of the NHL's annual outdoor game.
On an authentic jersey for the Winter Classic, we'd want to see a real hologram on here. And what we're looking at, even though it says authentic, this is missing a hologram altogether.
Another telltale sign it's a fake? Shoddy workmanship.
You see, even though it was just imported, the quality of the stitching is coming off already.
On this side of the border, it's the same story too.
I've seized everything from baseball jerseys, hockey jerseys, football jerseys.
Detective Robert Whalen is with the Major Crimes Unit of the Toronto Police. After more than 2 decades on the force, he's become an expert in counterfeit offenses.
How many fake sports jerseys do you think are in the market right now?
I'm going to say millions. We've seized container loads of jerseys where there'd be 100,000 jerseys in a container.
There is rampant fraud involving counterfeit jerseys for pretty much every major league sport.
Toronto lawyer Lauren Lipkiss is an expert in piracy and counterfeiting.
So in the last year, we've seen the explosion in internet-related counterfeits.
For nearly 2 decades, he's been hosting an annual fraud and anti-counterfeiting conference that's attended by police and government officials.
How have things changed over the last 20 years in terms of the counterfeiting in the sports sector itself?
We didn't have internet sales 20 years ago. We have them now, and people are buying over the internet, sometimes realizing that what they're buying is counterfeit, and sometimes not.
So what's available online? Jerseys of practically any team or player you can think of. And with prices as cheap as $36, shipping included, we order several to check out the quality. Just 2 weeks later, and our package has arrived. At first glance, the attention to detail is impressive. They look genuinely authentic. Everything from NHL holograms to Reebok, CCM, and Nike logos. And look at this, a Made in Canada tag. That's especially surprising, seeing as how all these jerseys came from China.
There are counterfeits elsewhere, but it's China that is the big problem. 60 to as much as 80% of the counterfeits in the marketplace come from China.
And remember those fake jerseys from the Winter Classic? They're from China too.
Any legitimate ones are not associated with China.
As for our $36 counterfeit jerseys, when we suggest through email we might be interested in buying more, some businesses even invite us to visit their factories. And with that invitation, we head off to China, home of the world's largest economy and the global leader in counterfeiting. Our first stop is Beijing, where just about any product you can imagine has a knockoff version being sold here.
At markets across Shanghai and in Beijing, markets like the Silk Alley here in Beijing, you can buy what looks like an authentic NHL jersey for a fraction of what you'd pay in the West.
Filming in these markets is often not permitted, so our camera is rolling surreptitiously as we enter a jersey shop with the wide array of professional teams to choose from. And this is reassuring. Labels on the hangers say that if customers are sold a fake, they'll get double their money back.
How much is this?
This one only for you. I give this price, okay?
$6.90.
The first price the salesperson quotes us is $691, or about $140 per jersey. Not bad if these are authentic, but as we quickly learn, that's not the final price.
Yeah. So right now, only for you, I give you $350, okay?
No, too much.
Are you finish?
No, too
maximum.
much.
Moment.
Too much.
Don't worry, okay? You give me
Much.
maximum.
I'll give you 2. You want it or no?
250.
No, I give you 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Ayo.
So that's one supposedly authentic NHL jersey for 200 won, or just $40. The next stop is the city of Shenzhen. 15 million people live in this major manufacturing center in southern China's Guangdong province. We're discreetly filming our meeting at a garment company. The owner is a man named Steven.
So it's good to meet you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We've given him the impression we're interested in placing several orders for jerseys. He has a Phil Kessel Leafs jersey to show us as a sample and says the embroidery and cresting will be done later.
But for bulk orders, we can do the embroidery. You can check the quality here.
With all of the NHL crest and everything here.
Yeah.
And it's not just NHL jerseys. NBA jerseys are available as well.
I can send you the samples.
He says his factory is currently producing about 5,000 items per month, but could do twice that. His price? $15.81 per jersey. But there's one catch.
We do not produce the replica.
He says they only do custom jerseys and not what he calls replicas or counterfeit jerseys. NHL and team logos are fine, but no Reebok logos and nothing that says officially licensed.
If the company not official licensed jerseys, we cannot produce.
So we just say, so we say custom jerseys.
Yeah, custom jerseys.
Okay,
yeah.
that's easy.
So ultimately he can offer decent-looking fake jerseys, but not perfect knockoffs. And soon we're off to our next destination. This time, a factory in the city of Jiashan, just outside Shanghai. It's another seemingly generic warehouse where on the third floor, a blossoming garment factory is operating.
Do you have your NHL samples here? Your hockey jerseys?
Yes, at our office we have.
Here, Kenny and Susie are in charge. They have 15 workers stitching all sorts of sports gear. And they say that Canada has long been a popular destination for their jerseys.
I know these jerseys are sold very, very good in Canada.
They claim to be shipping 200 hockey jerseys every month to Canada.
So for this one, you can do the crest, no problem.
Yes.
They have a room full of sample merchandise to show us, teams from around the world, some even with bogus game-worn labels.
You clearly know what you're doing. Yes. You have expertise in this.
We know what customer want.
And it all looks really authentic. The price? $25 per jersey. That includes shipping.
You do hats too?
Yes. Toronto.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is nice.
But when it comes to making jerseys, there's one catch. Much like the factory in Shenzhen, they will replicate everything except the Reebok logo.
Not allowed to be made
without
the Reebok logo.
Without this?
Yes, because we can't make it with this logo.
But the other anything else is fine. Everything except that logo on the back.
No this Reebok, no this logo.
No problem.
He says Chinese customs officials have started clamping down on the export of counterfeit jerseys. But suddenly, once we start talking about the possibility of doing big business with them and placing several jersey orders, Susie changes her mind. She says they could put the Reebok logo on the jerseys after all. She even suggests a safe way to get them into Canada.
The Reebok is okay, but maybe we need express.
Okay.
But just 20 pieces.
By shipping the jerseys in small batches, she believes they may go undetected by customs officials. We promise we'll be in touch soon. And with our jersey samples in hand, we're ready to return to Canada.
Thank you.
We've acquired some pretty impressive-looking knockoffs. Back in Toronto, it's time to see if real fans can spot a fake.
It's pretty authentic to me.
We take a phony Nazem Kadri jersey to a Maple Leafs game.
They look authentic, to be honest with you.
Hologram?
Hologram. But then again, you can print that anywhere, right?
Okay.
I don't know. That's starting to get me thinking about it now.
Made in Canada.
Oh, Reebok, with the Reebok in the back.
What about the label? Does the label look real?
It's not bad.
If someone gave that to me as a gift, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
You wouldn't be able to tell the difference?
No.
How much would you pay for this?
$100?
Yeah, $100.
$100?
Yeah.
Not bad, considering we paid $36.
At the end of the day, what do you say to a consumer who wants a Team Canada or a Toronto Maple Leafs authentic jersey, and they say, well, you know what, I don't want to spend that much money, I'm going to buy a knockoff instead?
I would like the public to realize that they're supporting an illegal industry. When we're talking about an industry that's generating not millions, not tens or hundreds of millions, but billions of dollars in revenue that is primarily not being taxed.
What's more, police maintain that when fans buy counterfeit jerseys, it's often organized crime and not their teams that they're supporting.
I found members of outlaw motorcycle gangs, traditional organized crime families involved in the sales. What I've been told by some of my confidential sources is there's more money to be made in selling counterfeit merchandise than there is in, let's say, drug trafficking, because it's a very lucrative market.
So, the bottom line in the crusade against counterfeit goods, right now, those trying to stop the fakes are fighting a losing battle.
The second largest growing industry I'm aware of is anti-counterfeiting. Unfortunately, the largest growing industry is counterfeiting.